All right, so we're gonna do a change of scenery right now, and I wanna teach you the basics of setting up asset protection. All right, so what I wanna do right now is I wanna go over the basics of asset protection, what it is and why it's important. However, I do need to always start off with a disclaimer. I'm not a lawyer or an attorney or pretend to be one on the internet. So these are just strategies that we use within our business that I'm going to share with you. And if you want to really go ahead and set this up, I recommend getting in touch with a real estate attorney who can lead you in the right direction for your specific state, okay? So let's talk about why you need asset protection. So imagine right now you have your house or you have some assets. Say your house is worth $500,000 and that house is paid off after years and years of hard work. And then you get into the tax lien and deed business and you start investing. Maybe you buy a tax deed property and you rent it out, and say, the mailman slips on your property and like breaks his leg, or he slips in the winter and, gets a concussion or something and can't work for a month. Well, people love to launch lawsuits. So in that situation, they could go ahead and sue you for whatever damages they feel. In America, people sue over everything. As we know, Hulk Hogan just won $100 million for a naughty video that was leaked by some website. So what they're going to do is they're going to go and first they're going to look into the house, the asset. So say they want to sue for $1 million because the mailman was, maybe he wanted to have a music career and broke his hand, right? So he deserves $1 million, he thinks. And what the lawyer's going to do is he's going to trace the assets back to the owner. So the house that he slipped on is worth $100,000. But they see that your house is worth $500,000 and it's paid off. So that's the asset they're going to go after. So this is where a limited liability company comes in handy, what we refer to as an LLC. So it's going to be important to set one of these up if you're going to be buying properties. So the way the LLC works is you can register one on the internet through certain sites. There's places like We the People, or you can just go to a local real estate attorney, and it's going to cost you $300 to $500. And what that's going to be is it's going to be like a shell. And inside that shell, you're going to isolate your investments. So say, for example, you buy 3 houses and you put them in the LLC. So they're now going to be in this little box. So if anything happens, you're only limited to the liability of what's in that container, which is referred to as the limited liability company. Then as you buy more real estate, you just keep adding more LLCs. So it's a very cost-effective way to limit your liability if somebody ever wants to go ahead and sue you. Now, these are also great tools if you're going to work with a business partner. Often what folks will do is they'll learn about this business, and maybe they're the one who wants to put in the elbow grease and find the deals, but they know somebody with money. And the way that both people can work together and be secure is you create an LLC in the names of both parties and then create the bank account. And that way you both have equal vested interest and you both are on title for the property in the name of the LLC. So if you don't have an LLC set up, I highly recommend you take some action and get one of those set up. If you're going to be serious about using real estate as a wealth tool, which is why we're here, right? I really recommend that you go and do that so that your assets are protected. And once again, I'm not a asset protection lawyer or anything like that, so I'm suggesting you go and talk to a legal professional within your state, because there's a lot of states that offer different benefits, like Nevada or Delaware or Florida. Those are states to go ahead and look into. And you also have great tax benefits of setting up your company within an LLC, because each state taxes you differently. And then if you combine that in with your IRA, which we'll talk about, where you can defer the taxes into the next investment, then you're really going to be on your way to building the wealth you want. So let's jump to the computer right now and let's learn how to work with self-directed IRAs, 401ks, so you can really maximize your wealth over the long term. All right, welcome to the computer. So what is a self-directed IRA? Technically speaking, a self-directed IRA, it's no different than any other type of IRA or 401k. However, what makes a self-directed IRA unique is the available investment options that it has. Most IRA custodians only allow approved stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and CDs. And a truly self-directed IRA custodian, such as Equity Trust, who we've used before and referred our clients to, allows those type of investments in addition to real estate and other private investments like tax lien certificates and much more. So what are the benefits of a self-directed IRA? In addition to the tremendous benefits of an IRA and the tax-free profits and deductions with the asset protection and planning, you're able to invest tax-free investments that you know and understand, which through the power of compound interest can create lasting wealth for yourself and your family. So when we say tax-free, what we mean is you can roll your profits over into your next investment without having to pay those taxes. You only pay the taxes when you pull the money out, so this way you can compound your money by moving it into the next investment. And once again, I do advise you to seek the advice of a qualified professional on this. Once again, I'm not a lawyer or a tax attorney, but these are strategies that we've used that we're sharing with you to go ahead and get an idea around it. So why haven't I heard of a self-directed IRA before? Self-directed IRAs may seem like a recent phenomenon, but they've actually been around since the IRA was created in 1974. Investing alternatives to stocks and bonds and mutual funds has always been allowed by the IRS. And self-directed IRAs have not really received a lot of attention because most custodians who offer IRAs, the banks and the mortgages firms, only allow traditional investments at their firm within their corporations. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about 6 steps to a self-directed IRA investment. Now, step 1, establish a fund and an account with a company that allows you to use a self-directed IRA. We recommend Equity Trust, and all you need to do is sign the application and a copy of your driver's license and the method of payment to fund your account. The next thing you do is deposit the new cash and move the funds from your existing 401k or IRA or other retirement investment saving plan into your new account. From there, what you're going to do is you're going to roll over and transfer, and this is important because it can take some time. From there, rollovers and transfers can take time, so it's important to initiate the funding immediately. Investment opportunities come and go quickly, so preparation is always very important. Step 2 is to identify your IRA investment. After you've identified your preferred investment, you're ready to make a purchase. You complete the direction of investment form with the details of the investment, and the details should include the description of the investment, how much it'll cost, and where to send the funds, and then the self-directed company can take it from there. Before investing, you should always know and understand the self-directed IRA rules and regulations. Your custodian can help you with those. So step 3 is to ensure the correct title of your IRA investment. You and your IRA are 2 separate entities, and as such, the investment needs to be titled in the name of your IRA, not you personally. So the correct title for most real estate IRA investments is, if you're using Equity Trust, say Equity Trust Company Custodian, FBO, for the benefit of your name, or the name of the IRA. So step 4 is to request the funds to purchase the IRA investment. So once they've received and processed your direction of the investment, what they do is they go and they send your funds from your IRA to the purchased investment per your instructions. For safekeeping, what they do is they retain all the records like the deeds and the notes and the operating agreements that you're using. Step 5 is to maintain your IRA. However, income and expenses flows. All payments and profits related to an investment in your self-directed IRA must be made from your IRA and returning to your account. In addition, all expenses related to your investment must be paid from your self-directed IRA. Then step 6 is sell your IRA investment. What you can do is negotiate the terms and complete an investment form instructing the IRA company to sell on behalf of your IRA. Proceeds from the sale will return to your self-directed IRA, and that will be tax deferred or tax free, and that will be available to your future investments. So another question here is, Can I roll over funds from a previously established retirement plan into a self-directed IRA? And the answer to that is yes. There are several ways funds can be rolled over into a self-directed IRA, like equity trust. So what is a rollover and how does it happen? A rollover occurs when an individual requests a distribution from an IRA or a qualified retirement plan and then rolls the assets into an IRA. So there are three types of rollovers. There's an IRA rollover, a qualified retirement plan rollover, a qualified retirement plan direct rollover, and under the federal tax law, each IRA owner is limited to one IRA rollover per 12-month period. So on the other hand, qualified retirement plan directed rollovers are not treated as rollovers and subject to this 12-month rollover rule. So IRA rollover occurs when an individual has taken a distribution personally from his or her IRA. The IRA owner has 60 days to roll over the distribution into another IRA. If the funds are not put into the IRA account, the individual shall be subject to an additional 10% penalty tax of 10%. So the retirement plan rollover occurs when an individual takes personal possession of his or her distributions from qualified retirement plans. The QRP rollover is a more complex procedure than the regular transfer. And once the funds have been removed, the plan administrator will withhold 20% of the distribution for tax purposes. The client will receive 80% and then has to make up the difference to his or her IRA account out of his own pocket. The client will have to file the form with the IRS to receive the withheld funds. For these reasons, we can recommend that individuals execute a direct rollover when possible to avoid taxes, liabilities, and complications. Qualified retirement plan directed rollovers, the direct rollover is similar to an IRA transfer. The recipient of a qualified plan distribution chooses to have his or her distributions rolled over directly to another institution in order to open an IRA account with those funds. By choosing the direct rollover option, an individual lessens the possibility of complications and no taxes withheld from the distributions. So that's a bit of an overview on what self-directed IRAs are and how they work. There's always a lot of confusion around there, and I hope this sheds a little bit of light on there. We work with Equity Trust. If you give them a call, tell them Dustin Hahn sent you. So yeah, I hope that helped. Let's jump back outside and we will go ahead and close out this training. All right, welcome back. I just have two more things to share with you before we wrap this video up. So follow me to the truck and we'll close out the video. All right, so we're just gonna load up my truck. She has a name. Her name's Bessie because the truck is kind of big and slightly ugly and drinks a lot of fuel because it's a big diesel. But definitely works well for hauling toys. So we'll just load up and finish the video.